Now then, you lovely lot. Hello and welcome. My name's Emma and this is a 10-minute quilter. Thanks so much for joining me today. It's been one of those weeks, you know those weeks. I normally record on a Thursday and do all my editing and everything, and then it's uploaded on the Friday. Well, it's currently midday on Friday today. So I'm cutting it a little bit fine this week, but more on the reasons why later. It's nice to have you with me. If you're new to the channel, welcome. It's a little bit chaotic usually, but there we go. I know some of you have subscribed via Brenda at Conquering Mount Scrapmore, so thanks ever so much to her for the shout out. And thank you if you have subscribed, I do appreciate it. And I appreciate all your comments as well. So thanks for those, we've had a lot. So how are we doing? I know a lot of you said that you were very pleased to have some motivation, to get some of your quilt tops done. And I know Caitlin, you were going to join me and do some in a month, weren't you? And Judy, I think you said you were going to quilt a jelly roll race alongside me. So how are we all doing? Have we all done some? Let me know in the comments down below how many you've managed to get done. I hope that we've got a little bit of motivation and that we've managed to sort of convince some of you to get some of them finished and off the shelf and done. I got the grand total of 1 done. 1. So I was going to come on, and I thought I could come on and be also, negative and woe with me, and I've only got 1 done out of my list. But then I decided, no, I'm going to turn this round and it's going to be a positive. So, yay, I got 1 done. I got 1 finished. It's better than nothing, isn't it? And I could give you a long list of excuses why I haven't done more, and I probably will, but yeah, I got 1 finished. Well, it's not even finished actually, it's only quilted. It's not even been trimmed, it's not been bound, but it's been quilted, which is better than nothing. I did my jelly roll race, which I showed you on one of my previous videos, and I used a new pantograph to me, which is called Maureen's Curls and Swirls, which came from Elementz, and it's a self-print, so you print off the pages and you stick them together and then use it on the back of the machine. And I used this one because I wanted to use it as a trial run, because I had another quilt that I was going to do, and I wanted to test this one out and see how it stitched up, and to get some muscle memory going with it before I jumped onto the next quilt. And I'll put some footage up of me quilting it out. It's a really nice pantograph because it's quite a wide one, so as you can see from the footage, it's with each pass that you do along the bed of the machine, you actually get quite a lot of space filled up. So it's a great one if you're looking to fill some space, in one pass. It's brilliant for that. It's really nice. I can't remember how much I paid for it, but I don't think it was a huge amount. But I'll put the link to it down below in the description box. So it quilted up really nicely. I used Orifil thread. I used that quilt backing that I bought. I think I showed it in one of my previous videos. I think I bought it when I went to Malvern, and I think it looks really nice actually. I used a piece of 80/20 that I'd had knocking around, so it looks a bit rough and ready actually, but it does the trick quite nicely. And I think that's about all I can tell you about it actually, but it's done, it's quilted, so that is 1 ticked off my list. Now I could have done more. I have done more, let's say that. This is one of mine. I did this, and then I had my local quilt group that I belong to asked me to to quilt the group quilt for our exhibition, which is in September. So this was a trial run for that. We actually went with a different pantograph in the end, but you know, it meant I got this one done and ticked off. So I then did the group one, and I also had class. See, I am giving you a long list of excuses now, aren't I? But I had classes to prep for, and then on the very last day of the deadline, I decided, I think, you know, the deadline was midnight that night, I decided at 5 o'clock tea time that it would be a really good idea to enter a quilt into the Festival of Quilts this year. Why I thought that was a good idea, I have no idea, really. I had said to myself I was going to do one this year. If you look back through my videos, I think I did one a couple of years ago. So I decided I was going to do another one this year. And I ummed and ahed about it. And at tea time I just thought, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. So I entered, and I basically made up a quilt, really. It's based around the Gwen Marsden improv blocks that I showed in one of my previous videos, which I will put a link to at the end of this one. I decided I wanted to enter a different category to what I've entered previously. So I'd entered contemporary and for the joy of sharing in a previous year. So this year I decided I was going to enter the modern quilt category. So I was going to use my Gwen Marsden blocks as my inspiration, and I basically made up a size and a description for a quilt that I hadn't made yet. Yeah, I know, I can hear you all, I can hear you all in my ear. I know. Anyway, so that was on the Wednesday. I think I had an all-day sewing day on the weekend. I had a busy week, and then suddenly realised that A, I hadn't made the quilt, and B, it needs to be finished and with them by the 11th of July, which is a week today. Now, I work better under pressure. I'm not sure I do actually, but there we go. So last weekend I had a quiet weekend at home, and I managed to get it all pieced. I made it to the requirements that I put on the entry form, although I think it's a little bit shorter than what I put on the entry form. But anyway, and it is now on the frame, and I am now in the process of quilting it. And so I think I have to get it quilted over the weekend. I have to get it done, so that I can then get the binding on it, I can then take a photograph of it, and I can then arrange for it to be posted and delivered to them by next Friday. Easy, right? Okay, so that's one of the reasons why I haven't got much to show you today. Yeah, wish me luck, keep your fingers crossed for me, and I'll let you know how I get on. So, I haven't failed. I'm not going to say I failed, because I haven't failed. I have done one, and I'm very pleased with the one that I've done, and I will continue to work my way through my little pile of quilt tops that I've got there. So come on, let me know. I'm assuming that everybody's done better than I have. Let me know in the comments down below what you've done, whether you've done any, or whether you're like me and you started with good intentions and it's all gone out the window. Thanks ever so much for joining me today. I'm sorry it's so short and sweet, but I wanted to make sure that I got a video out, and hopefully in my next one I'll have a little bit more to show you and to talk about. I hope you're all well. Please do take care, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye.